5 on the list is a concern for a lot of new people because they are afraid of some of the outlaw motorcycle clubs that might be at the rally. Here's what I have to say about that. Yes, you will see motorcycle clubs from all over the country at the Sturgis rally, and that includes motorcycle clubs that don't get along. But I always tell people, do not worry about these outlaw motorcycle groups that you see at Sturgis. They are on vacation. They tell their members, don't make trouble, don't call attention to our club, just have a good time, stay with the group, and don't call any attention to us or our club. So as the old saying goes, if you don't start any trouble, there won't be any trouble. I always make sure to give them proper respect, but they are at the rally, and again, you'll see all the big clubs at the rally. And something else to be said, you will also see them riding in packs from all directions headed to the rally and going home. I saw this happen one time where a guy was at a gas station and one of those groups went by in a pack, and there was probably 50 of them. Well, this guy pulled out and got right in behind them. He kind of like joined their little group ride. Well, that's kind of an unwritten rule with these clubs, and I don't care if it's an outlaw club or if it's Bikers for Jesus. It's considered to be very impolite and rude to sort of join in a motorcycle pack that you don't belong to. Okay, this guy pulled right in behind the last bike of this group, and he was just kind of acting like he was riding with them. Well, they eventually pulled over when the group sergeant-at-arms saw what was going on, and they had a little word with the guy. And it was polite. It was just kind of a back-off warning. But for those of you who have never been around groups like that, that's a good bit of advice. Don't worry about the outlaw groups. I've been to Sturgis probably 6 times, and I've never seen any trouble with any of the groups. Number 6, and this is a big one. If you are new to motorcycling, or if you have just purchased a new motorcycle and you are not comfortable with its handling and have gone on long rides where you're not an experienced rider, stay away from the Sturgis Rally. You are going to be sharing the road with not just a few thousand, but a few 100,000 motorcycles who are all experienced riders. And the roads that go through the Black Hills are not friendly to beginners, and they are not forgiving to people who make mistakes. They have something that I'm not sure what the official name is, but they have roads that have reducing radius curves, and that's because they have a lot of mountains that you kind of snake through, and you start out going around one of those curves and it keeps getting tighter and tighter the more you're into it, or it might suddenly turn the other way. And the biggest problem that I see is that people head into those curves going a little faster than what they should be for their riding experience. How do I know that? Ta-da! I'm guilty. Yes, MOJADO, your undocumented motovlogger, had an accident at Sturgis one year. I was being foolish. I was on a motorcycle that I had just gotten 2 months prior to that. So the bike itself was kind of new to me. And I was riding with a group of guys who like to go really fast. And they like to drive really fast through little twisty, curvy roads that I was unfamiliar with. Then there will be a warning sign that says curve ahead, reduce speed to 30 miles an hour. Well, they're not joking. If you go into one of those curves a little too fast, say like even 50 miles an hour, and it keeps getting sharper and sharper, you might make the mistake that I did, and I went right off the road and down a cliff. Not the way that you want to spend your vacation at Sturgis. So if you're a beginning rider, or if you have a new bike and you're not comfortable with it, especially around a lot of curvy roads, then skip this Sturgis trip and go to the next one. Number 7 on our list are some of the must-see places and things to do at the Sturgis Rally. First and foremost is going to be the ride to Keystone to see the Mount Rushmore monument. You've seen it in books, you've seen photographs of it, but there is nothing to prepare you for when you come around this one curve in the road and you look up and you see the Mount Rushmore monument carved into the side of a mountain. It is breathtaking. Plan to spend a whole afternoon, morning or afternoon there. They have a neat little museum, and you can see a little movie about how the monument was made. I've seen it several times, and it still gets me every time I go there and see it. It should be on your must-see list. The other one are some of the famous rides that are available that you can go on, some of the scenic routes. One of those is called the Needles Highway. Lots of caves, twisty, turny curves through the Black Hills. Just a really fun ride. You can look it up, Google it, and get the maps. Plan for that ride while you are there. The other one is Custer State Park. Custer charges a fee to get into the park, but man, it is just, again, one of those things that's breathtaking. And one of the cool things that you'll see in that park is a herd of buffalo. It's a wild herd that just roams the park, and it is the same group of buffalo that they used in the movie Dances with Wolves. That whole park is just really, you can't go to the Sturgis Rally without going through Custer State Park. The other one is called the Badlands. The Badlands is I believe it's a national park, might be a state park in South Dakota, but it looks like something out of a science fiction movie. In fact, they filmed a lot of movies there because the terrain looks so unusual. It looks like something out of a science fiction novel. The other one is a ride that a lot of the people who go to the rally go to, and that is to cut across into Wyoming to see the Devil's Tower. If you're a movie person, you will remember seeing the Devil's Tower in movies like my mind just went blank. Well, it's been featured in a lot of movies. How you like that? The heat must be affecting my brain. My mind just went blank. But those are some of the attractions that you got to see when you're at the rally. Oh, and I almost forgot one. Deadwood, South Dakota. It's a little town very close to the city of Sturgis. And if you're a history person, you'll remember that Deadwood was the location where Wild Bill Hickok was murdered back in the Old West. He was sitting in a saloon in Deadwood. And Deadwood is a very cool looking community. They have kept the Old West look and feel to that community alive. and just a great stop on your Sturgis trip would be in Deadwood. Number 8 is a bit of advice: do not over plan. I've been guilty of this on occasion, where I try to figure out what I'm going to do day by day ahead of time, and once you get to the rally, just kind of take off the wristwatch and just kind of do whatever floats your boat on that particular day. Things change, and one day you may want to go on one ride, and something happens, you end up in a different place. So don't over plan it. Number 9 is the motorcycles you'll see. And I've also heard from people who are thinking about riding to Sturgis say that, oh, well, I don't want to go to Sturgis because I don't have a Harley Davidson. And I know that's what the majority of riders go on, and they'll make fun of me if I have my Honda or my Yamaha, or that's complete and utter bullshit. It doesn't matter what you ride. You are going to find a lot of people at the Sturgis rally who ride the same thing you do, and they love to talk motorcycles. It doesn't matter what you have or what you ride or what you like. You're going to see just about every brand of motorcycle that's ever been made. Yes, the predominant brand name that you'll see is Harley Davidson, but you're also going to see a lot of tricked out choppers and homemade bikes, and it's just an incredible array of motorcycles. And that's what the rally is all about. It's all about people who are into motorcycles, and it's a great place to see different bikes and get ideas. Every time that I go, I always come back with ideas on things I want to do to my bike, or little add-ons or modifications that you want to make. I always tell people, take a good camera. Your phone will work, but most people will take a lot of pictures of the different bikes. And the last tip number 10 to keep in mind, it's the people. And when I say people, it's the people you meet before, during, and after the rally. You are going to meet the most interesting, friendly, wonderful people that this rally brings together. I can't tell you the number of people that I've met, especially on the journey. Every time you stop for gas, every time you stop for a meal, there's going to be a table full of motorcycle people. Whether you're in Colorado or New Mexico or Wyoming, you're going to meet a lot of interesting people along the way. And that's the most important thing, I think, to keep in mind. Well, a little road rage here. Not sure what the silver Jeep did, but the guy on the blue Ford thought it was important enough to jump out and give him a lesson. But anyway, the point that I was about to make before the drama unfolded, keep in mind that it's the journey, not the destination, when you talk about Sturgis. Have fun along the way, and keep in mind it's the journey. Well, that's all I have to say for you about Sturgis. I hope to meet you there someday. You'll recognize me. I'll have the helmet that says MOJADO on the back of it. I hope to see you friends on the way and at the rally. And if you see me, I'll even buy you a beer. Be safe, be well, be nice to each other, unlike the two guys we just saw. And I will talk to you soon. MOJADO out.